All right, so you're getting ready for that purchase planner interview, and you want to make sure you're ready for anything they throw at you, right?
Absolutely.
Today we're going way beyond the basic definitions.
Yeah.
You already know the general role. We're really digging into how to just knock those interview questions out of the park.
Right.
We've got a ton of source material here. We've got career guides, interview guides, even insights from AI tools. So think of this as your personalized deep dive into the mind of the interviewer.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating about this role is that it really is like being an air traffic controller for a company's goods.
Okay.
You're making sure everything flows smoothly. Instead of planes, it's materials, supplies, and inventory.
And just like an air traffic controller, you're dealing with constant movement, changing conditions, and that pressure to make the right decisions quickly.
Exactly.
So that's why understanding the nuances of the job is so important
Hmm.
when you walk into that interview room.
Absolutely. It's not enough to just know the definitions. You need to show that deeper understanding. Right.
Of the challenges, the strategies, and the mindset of a purchase planner.
Okay, so let's dive right into some of this source material here.
Okay.
We've got 9 key interview questions, and these are the kind that can really make or break an interview.
Absolutely. These questions are designed to test not just your knowledge, but your critical thinking skills, your problem-solving abilities,
Oh, yeah.
and your overall fit for the role.
So question number 1, tell me about your previous experience in purchase planning. Seems pretty straightforward, but there's a lot riding on how you answer this one.
Yeah, and what's interesting here is they're not just looking for a chronological list of your past jobs.
Right.
They want to see how you connect your experience to the specific requirements of this role.
Okay, so how do you make your answer stand out?
Well, instead of just listing your responsibilities, focus on the accomplishments.
Okay.
Think about situations where you went above and beyond, where you solved a challenging problem, or where you achieved measurable results.
So give me an example. Okay, let's say you implemented a new inventory management system that reduced waste by 15%. That's something you want to highlight, quantifiable achievements.
Right.
Like that really demonstrate the impact you can have.
And I bet they'll have some follow-up questions, right?
Oh, definitely. They might ask, what were some of the challenges you faced implementing that system?
Okay.
And how did you overcome them? Or what were the key factors you considered when making purchasing decisions in your previous role?
So be prepared to go deeper and explain your thought process,
Right.
your decision-making strategies, how you handle challenges.
And this is where a tool like RoleCatcher can be really helpful.
Oh, yeah. How so?
You can actually plug in the job description, and their AI will analyze it and compare it to your resume,
Wow.
highlighting any potential gaps or areas you might want to emphasize in your answers.
That's pretty cool. It's like having a personalized interview coach right there on your computer.
Exactly. And it can even suggest specific examples from your experience that would be most relevant to this particular role.
All right, let's move on to question number 2. How do you ensure timely delivery of materials while maintaining optimal inventory levels?
Right.
This one gets to the heart of a purchase planner's balancing act.
It is a delicate dance between having enough stock to meet demand without tying up too much capital in excess inventory.
Okay, you need to show them that you understand the factors that influence lead times, that you can anticipate potential disruptions, and you have strategies in place to manage inventory effectively.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for keywords like forecasting safety stock, supplier collaboration, and risk mitigation.
So should you just throw those words around, or is there a better way to answer this question?
You need to go beyond just using the right terminology.
Yeah.
You need to show them that you understand how these concepts apply in real-world scenarios.
So give me an example.
Let's say you're asked, what steps do you take to mitigate the risk of stockouts or delays?
Okay.
Instead of just saying, I maintain safety stock levels.
Right.
You could describe a specific instance where you anticipated a potential disruption, maybe due to a weather event.
Yeah.
Or a supplier issue, and you took proactive steps to adjust your order quantities or identify alternative suppliers.
That makes sense. You're not just talking about the theory. You're showing them how you apply your knowledge in practice.
Exactly. And remember, RoleCatcher can help you identify specific examples from your own experience that would be most impactful for this particular question.
All right, let's tackle question number 3. How do you prioritize purchase orders? This one seems to be about organization, keeping things moving smoothly.
It's more than just staying organized. It's about understanding the bigger picture, aligning your purchasing decisions with the company's strategic goals,
Right.
and making sure the most critical orders are fulfilled on time.
So how do you demonstrate that in your answer?
You need to explain your process for assessing the urgency of each order, considering factors like production schedules, project deadlines,
Okay.
and the potential impact of delays on different departments.
It's like triage in a hospital. You need to figure out which orders are the most life-threatening and need immediate attention.
Exactly, and you need to be able to clearly articulate your decision-making criteria and how you communicate with stakeholders to ensure everyone is on the same page.
I can see a potential follow-up question here.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of a time when you had to make a difficult decision about prioritizing purchase orders?
Right.
What factors did you consider?
That's a great example. Be ready to share a specific situation where you had to weigh competing priorities, maybe a rush order from a key customer versus a critical component for an ongoing project.
And don't forget to explain how you arrived at your decision and what the outcome was.
Right. Highlight your ability to think strategically, to analyze data, and to communicate effectively under pressure.
Okay, let's move on to question number 4. Tell me about a time you had to deal with a supplier who was not meeting expectations.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's been there, right? Suppliers can be tricky sometimes.
What's interesting here is that they're not interested in hearing you complain about the supplier.
Right.
They want to see how you handle conflict, how you communicate effectively, and how you find solutions.
So how do you turn a negative situation into a positive interview answer?
Start by describing the specific issue, but focus on the facts and avoid emotional language.
Okay.
Then walk them through the steps you took to address the problem. Did you try to renegotiate the terms? Did you escalate the issue to management? Did you look for alternative suppliers?
And don't forget to mention the outcome. Did you manage to resolve the issue? What did you learn from the experience?
Right. Show them that you can handle difficult situations diplomatically, that you're a problem solver, and that you're able to learn from your mistakes.
This is another area where RoleCatcher can be helpful. Their AI can analyze your past experiences and help you identify the most relevant examples to share based on the specific requirements of the role.
It can also help you frame your answer in a way that highlights the key skills they're looking for, like negotiation, communication, and conflict resolution.
All right, let's move on to question number 5. How do you stay up to date on industry trends and changes in the market? This one seems pretty straightforward. You just tell them what you read, right?
It's a bit more nuanced than that they want to see that you're genuinely interested in the field,
Okay.
that you're actively seeking out new knowledge, and that you're thinking critically about how these trends are impacting the role of a purchase planner.
So how do you make your answer stand out?
Go beyond just listing publications or websites.
Okay.
Talk about specific thought leaders you follow, conferences you attend, or professional organizations you're a part of.
Maybe mention a specific trend that you've been following and how you think it's going to impact the future of procurement.
Exactly. For example, you could talk about the growing importance of sustainability in supply chains or the increasing use of automation and artificial intelligence.
This is where RoleCatcher's career guides can be really valuable.
Yes.
They provide insights into emerging trends and technologies that are shaping the industry.
And they also offer recommendations for professional development resources like courses, certifications, and networking opportunities.
Okay, I think we've covered a good chunk of these questions. Let's take a break and we'll come back in part 2 to tackle the rest.
Sounds good. Welcome back. Let's jump right back into these interview questions.
Okay.
We left off talking about staying current on industry trends,
Right, yeah.
which is a natural segue into question number 6. How do you negotiate with suppliers to get the best price and terms? This one really gets to the heart of your strategic thinking and how you approach those crucial supplier relationships.
It's not just about haggling or being aggressive.
Yeah.
Right? It's about finding that sweet spot where both sides feel like they're getting a fair deal.
Exactly.
It's about building those win-win scenarios.
Absolutely. You need to demonstrate that you understand the supplier's perspective, that you can build rapport, and that you can find creative solutions that benefit both parties.
So how do you showcase that in your answer?
We'll start by explaining your research process. How do you determine fair market prices? How do you analyze supplier proposals? How do you leverage your knowledge of the industry and your company's needs to negotiate effectively?
I bet they'll throw in some follow-up questions to see how you handle tough situations.
Oh, definitely. They might ask, what's your approach to handling a situation where a supplier is unwilling to budge on price? Or how do you balance cost considerations with other factors like quality and delivery time?
These are the questions that really test your ability to think on your feet and to make strategic decisions under pressure.
And remember, RoleCatcher's AI-powered interview simulator can help you practice these types of scenarios. You can get feedback on your negotiation style, your communication skills, and your overall approach.
That's a great way to build confidence and to refine your strategy before the real interview.
Now let's move on to question number 7. How do you measure and track supplier performance?
Okay.
This one is all about demonstrating your analytical skills and your commitment to continuous improvement.
It's not enough to just place orders and hope for the best, right?
Right.
You need to be proactive in monitoring supplier performance and identifying areas for improvement.
It's exactly. Explain your process for setting clear performance metrics, collecting data, and providing feedback to suppliers. Do you have a system for tracking on-time delivery rates, quality ratings, or responsiveness to inquiries?
They might ask you to share a specific example of a time when you had to address a performance issue with a supplier.
Yeah. I'd be prepared to describe the situation, the steps you took to resolve it, and the outcome. Did you renegotiate the terms? Did you implement a corrective action plan? Did you ultimately have to switch suppliers?
Show them that you're not afraid to tackle tough conversations, that you're focused on finding solutions, and
Yeah.
that you're always striving to improve supplier relationships.
Now, question number 8, what experience do you have working with international suppliers? This one is becoming increasingly important as supply chains become more globalized.
Even if you haven't worked directly with international suppliers, highlight any experience you have with global supply chains or understanding of international trade practices.
Right. You can also mention any relevant coursework language skills or cultural awareness training you have.
If you do have experience working with international suppliers, be prepared to discuss the unique challenges and rewards of those collaborations, for example. They might ask, how do you navigate cultural differences in communication and negotiation styles?
This is where your adaptability, cross-cultural communication skills, and understanding of global business practices really come into play.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher can provide valuable insights into the cultural nuances of working with suppliers in different regions. Their platform offers resources on business etiquette communication styles and negotiation strategies specific to various countries.
All right, let's move on to the final question in this set. How do you manage risk in the purchasing process? This one really gets to the heart of your strategic thinking and your ability to anticipate and mitigate potential problems.
It's about protecting the company's interests and ensuring that the supply chain runs smoothly, even when unexpected events occur.
Start by explaining your understanding of the various types of risks involved in procurement. This could include supply chain disruptions, quality control issues, price fluctuations, or even ethical considerations.
Then discuss your approach to risk assessment and mitigation.
Right.
How do you identify potential threats? What steps do you take to minimize their impact?
They might ask you to describe a specific situation where you identified and addressed a potential risk.
This is a great opportunity to showcase your analytical skills, your problem-solving abilities, and your proactive approach to risk management.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher can provide a wealth of resources on risk management best practices, including industry benchmarks, case studies, and even templates for creating risk assessment plans.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've gone deep into those 9 interview questions, and we've explored how RoleCatcher can help you prepare for each one. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about your future as a purchase planner. We've focused a lot on landing the job, but what happens after that? What does your career trajectory look like in this field?
Yeah, that's where those career guides you provided come in.
Right.
They paint a really clear picture of the typical path, starting from a junior purchase planner role and outlining the steps to progress all the way up to a purchasing manager position.
And what I found helpful was they didn't just list job titles. They provided real-world examples of what each stage entails.
Right.
Seeing those detailed profiles gives you a much better understanding of how your responsibilities and the scope of your work will evolve as you gain experience.
It's like having a roadmap showing you not just the destination, but the different routes you can take and the milestones you'll encounter along the way.
They also mentioned some certifications that can really boost your credentials and open up more opportunities. CPSM, CPM, CPM, CSCP. Those acronyms caught my eye.
Those are definitely worth noting. The CPSM, or Certified Professional in Supply Management, is a globally recognized certification that covers a wide range of supply chain management topics.
Okay.
It demonstrates a deep understanding of strategic sourcing, supplier relationship management, risk management, and more.
And the CPM Certified Purchasing Manager is more focused on the tactical aspects of purchasing and procurement. It covers areas like negotiation, contract management, inventory control, and supplier performance evaluation.
And then you have the CSCP, or Certified Supply Chain Professional, which takes a broader perspective encompassing the entire supply chain from end to end.
Wow.
It covers topics like logistics, warehousing, transportation, and global supply chain management.
So depending on your specific career goals and interests, you could choose the certification that best aligns with your path.
Exactly. And having those certifications on your resume can definitely make you stand out from the competition and demonstrate your commitment to professional development.
Speaking of standing out, we've talked a lot about how RoleCatcher can help you tailor your answers and
Mhm.
practice for specific questions,
Mm,
but they offer even more than that, right?
absolutely. Remember how their AI can analyze job descriptions?
Hmm.
Well, it can also compare those descriptions to your resume, highlighting any potential gaps in your skills or experience.
So it's not just about prepping for the interview, it's about making sure your resume is as strong as it can be from the very beginning.
Right, and it doesn't just point out the gaps. It actually suggests concrete steps you can take to fill them, whether it's developing a specific skill, taking a course, or even highlighting certain experiences in a different way.
It's like having a personal career consultant at your fingertips guiding you every step of the way.
Exactly, and that level of personalized feedback can be incredibly valuable, especially in a competitive job market.
Okay, before we wrap up, let's touch on one more important aspect that came up in the career guides the evolving nature of the purchase planner role.
Yeah, the guys really emphasized how technology, globalization, and a growing focus on sustainability are transforming the way procurement is done.
So it's not enough to just know the traditional skills and processes you need to be adaptable and willing to embrace new tools and ways of thinking.
Exactly. For example, purpose planners are increasingly using data analytics to optimize inventory levels, predict demand, and identify cost-saving opportunities.
And the blockchain technology is starting to play a role in supply chain transparency and traceability.
Right, so demonstrating an awareness of these trends and an eagerness to learn new skills can really make you a more attractive candidate.
So you're walking into that interview armed with a deep understanding of the role, prepped for those tough questions, and even aware of the career paths and resources available to support your growth. You've done your homework and you're ready to impress.
And remember, this deep dive is just the beginning. The key is to stay curious, to keep learning, and to always be looking for ways to improve your skills and adapt to the ever-changing world of procurement.
We hope this deep dive has been helpful, and we wish you the best of luck in your purchase planner journey.